Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. Today is episode 11 of creating an ideas, a page layout ideas book. So we've had a few days on this one, and today we're gonna just crack on with is that a nice, that's not a very nice word, is it? Crack on with another episode. But yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to carry on with another episode. So today we're going to do something that's quite familiar with probably everybody, and that is we're going to create a flip over with some space and some pockets underneath. So I'm just going to quickly go through and see which piece. Okay, so what are we doing? We're picking a page. I think I'm going to go for this one. It's not one of my favourite pages, to be honest, and I like the colour, but it's probably too busy for me. Sorry, I'm chatting away as I'm walking away. So I'm just going to get my pads out and see what we're going to use for this. There is one in here somewhere. A lot of the stuff I'm doing is quite dark, so I would like to try and brighten it up a bit, if I could. There is something in here, I think, which is the same, although I've probably used it already. Yeah, I think I've used that one already. I don't really want to go with that one. Let's have a quick look at this one. Oh, that's quite cool. I think we might get away with something like that. I like that too, but I don't know whether I would like to pull those across and use them as individual pictures. Seems a waste not to. Okay, let's see what else we've got. These pads are lovely. But I've only just started to get used to them because I tended to use the 12 by 12s. And these ones here obviously are the 8 by 8s. And only because I can't get hold of the 12 by 12s that I kind of like to work with. So I'm trying some of these smaller pads to see how I get on with them. Okay, so I've also got a box next to me as well of all scrap bits and pieces, so that is an option as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure our page and see how much room we've got to play with. So we've got 14 centimetres by 20. So 14 by 20 is our maximum to play with. So let's put this to one side. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this as our base. So let's just cut that to size. I'm not sure if that is going to be big enough, is it? 20, just. So I'm going to take it just under 20 centimetres. Literally just under 2 points under that, and 14 is what we want for this side here. So that's our main bottom piece. Oops, I'm dropping things on the floor. And for this one, we might have to go for one of the bigger pieces of paper for this, I think. I'm not sure I'm going to get away with that. It's doable. Sorry, just pick it up. Okay, so this will be our, where are we? Here. This will be our main backdrop, and I do like that a lot. Yeah, I think that's really, really nice. We might have to take a smidgen more off that for it to fit. Okay, yeah, I like these two together because I know it sounds a little bit odd, but time and seeing all of these people across different times and different ages, and I really do quite like that. So even though that's not gonna quite be big enough, we could make it work. Yeah, yes, let's go with it. And if it works out poorly, then we can always use these 4 clusters or other pieces of ephemera. So all I'm doing now is I'm just cutting these down exactly the same width. Gives us a nice piece to play with there. Oh, and I'm going to cut this in half, and it doesn't have to be a complete half. In fact, I'm going to cut it, I don't want to cut any of these people off, so I'm going to cut it in 2 odd pieces. I think we'll get away with that. Okay, so the idea is we're going to have this as our back piece. Even though we've got one already, I just want to put another back piece in there that we can build on. And then we will have this on top and this on top. We're not going to have much room to play with. So I was going to round the edges on these, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough room to do that. Have a little look. So I'm just going to round the edges. Yeah, I think we've got enough room just to round those edges, and just because I think it makes it a little softer. Okay, so what we're going to need, we are going to need 2 hinges for these. So we're going to have one hinge here so we can open this flap. We're going to have another hinge here so we can open this flap here, and we're going to use some pockets across here. I think I'm going to go with vellum. I think I am going to go with vellum. So we've got 20 centimetres. So if we do them in 5, 10 and 15 centimetres high, let me just make a note of that. So 15, 10 and 5 centimetres in height, and they are all going to be 14, just short of 14 centimetres across. Okay, I'm just going to cut those up now. I'm not going to make you hang around and wait for that. Okay, so we've cut our vellum at 15, 10 and 5. And we are literally going to attach it to our paper like this. I can trim off any excess afterwards. You can still see through the paper, which is good. More so at the top, obviously, as the layers are thinner. But yeah, we can then see through here. I'm going to stitch across these 3 sections first, just to give some stability to the pocket openings. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch down the side here across the bottom and up the left hand side here to attach the vellum to the card. And as I said, what we can then do is we can cut off any excess. So bear with me just a few minutes. Okay, so I have just literally, I'm not sure how much of the camera stayed on for that, but I have literally just stitched around. I did these first of all before I attached them, put a little bit of glue just to attach them in place, and then stitch this right the way around our top piece here. Okay, so the next thing we need is to create a hinge. I've got loads of paper here, and I'm gonna go for I think I'm going to go for this as well because it will match really, really well. So, okay, we're going to lose a little bit of that. I'm just going to take that off there. And then we're going to cut this in half. It doesn't matter how straight your half is, luckily, because I don't cut in a straight line. Okay, and then for this bit to show, we are going to have to fold it. So if we do that like that, no, so it needs to be done this way, I think. You're all waiting for me to say my famous "we'll give it a go" there, won't you? So that's going to go, do you know what, honestly, that is going to go on there like that. And then that will attach to the page. Okay, so let's glue this before we lose track of where it goes. So that's going to go from here, just like that. Get that up right to the top. And that is going to attach to our page and give us that flip over. Okay, we're going to do the same with the second piece now. And with this one, we want it to flip over this way. So that will go on our paper like that and flip up like that. So technically that will go over there and that will go over there, and we've got a tiny bit that hangs over, which is good. I would have preferred a little bit more because I was using the 8x8 pad and I wanted to stick to the same pattern. We've got a tiny bit that goes over, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. So the next thing we are going to do is we're going to create a closure. If I can find my little stabby thing. Gosh, I've been tidying up today. You wouldn't believe it, no, but I have been. And now I can't find anything. Oh, there it is. There it is, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go here, just because I can see that that is going to line up with this here. And I'm going to go in the center again, Yeah. So we're going to go in there. So we've got our 2 holes now, and what we need to do is we need to make our closures. Okay, so I am going to use some scrap pieces of card, but something that's quite plainish, I think, for this one. Okay, I think this is I think it's a 1 inch. Yes, it is. It's a 1 inch paper cutter, you know, paper punch. So I'm going to cut out 4 of these. We're going to have 2 here and 2 here. They are quite stark, so I'm just going to give them a little ink around the edge just to blend them in a bit better. And the same with these ones here. Okay. So we want 2 brads. Got some nice chunky ones here. I think we'll go with those. Okay, so we're just going to go fairly centre, push our way through there, push our brad through here. It is a little off centre, but I'm not overly concerned. We are going to glue this underneath bit so that the underneath bit sticks to the card, but it does leave a space between the first and the second disc, which is what we want. Just going to open these up here. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same on this one here. I'm going to pierce roughly, I say roughly in the middle, try and get as centre as you can. I can never get centre on anything, so yeah, okay. So we're going to glue this bit again as well, just so that that sticks to our card. Turn it over and separate these 2. And then we're going to attach some thread. Now I think it's quite a nice colour, so we'll try that. Now these aren't my best closures, I am still learning, and so I will talk you through what I do. And if anybody has got any better ideas out there, then please, please, please drop them in the comments. So all I do with this is literally put it around the underneath of the first disc, and the second one disc is attached to the card. So I put it around the first one, I do a knot, I do a second knot, and a third knot just to make sure that it's secure. Like so. No, I don't think that one worked it up. Let's try again. For any of you who've seen me try to do a bow, you'll understand the struggle I'm having. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this bit not fully, but just off a little bit. And we've got that excess then that we're going to attach to this. So all we've got left to do is attach it to our book. Okay, so what we're going to do with this one, which is what I didn't do first time round, was I didn't attach this to the underside of the card before I attached my pockets. So in effect, I put this piece in first, and then you have these bits showing here. So don't do what I do. So we're attaching these first of all, so that we won't see those pieces. And I'm just gonna, sorry if you can see the top of my head, you don't have an awful lot of wiggle room with art glitter glue, and card especially. So once it's down, it's pretty much down. So try to get that down as quickly as you can. I'm going to put this one as far down as I can go while still having that tiny bit of a hangover. Okay. Again, I'm just going to check that that's fairly straight. Okay. Now, hopefully this should fit and still give enough space to close, which it does, so that's awesome. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to glue it to our back page here, but we're only going to glue it on the top, the bottom and down the left hand side. So that will actually give us a pocket area under here, as well as these pockets here. Oh gosh, that's a beautiful colour. It's a bit brighter in your face, but it's beautiful. So let's just double check again, and that folds over, which it does. Okay, so just going to quickly glue the top, the bottom and the left hand side. I finally got this nib working. I've had it for I don't know how many weeks. I think I had it probably sometime in November, and I just couldn't figure it out. I first of all couldn't get any ink, and then I got ink out and it was kind of coming out from all these different areas that it shouldn't have been coming out from. So in the end it was, right, let's take it off, give it a final clean, and if it doesn't work, we're giving up the ghost. And I'm pleased to say that it did work, and I'm actually really enjoying using it. Okay, so we've got our, oh, it's not quite dry. Let's give that a minute or two. So we've got our deep pocket under here. I'm not going to test it again, just because we're waiting for this to dry. We've got our individual pockets here, 1, 2, 3. We've got a 5 centimetre pocket, a 10 centimetre pocket and a 15 centimetre pocket here. And then we've got our 2 pieces that come over the top, our policy closure, which should now come under here. And we don't actually need all of this cord, but I'm not going to take it off now I've got it in place. And that is our page layout for, did we say episode 11? And I quite like that. you've got lots of different options with this type of thing, again, as you have with anything you start off with when you start, putting something together. This, as I said, is just about, at the moment, putting the, I am going to cut that off because it's going to wind me up. This is just about putting the page layouts together at the moment. And then we're going to decorate them all at the end when we do a final flip through. But, inside here, you could have done text, you could have done a notepad. You could still even do a notepad now. Just literally add a full-size notepad on top of that. You lift that up and you've got one of the pockets underneath. You could have had text, you could have had literally a belly band, whatever you'd have wanted to have done. Probably my preference out of all of those would be to add a bookmark on top of this. I just, again, don't want it to be too bulky at this stage until we have finished the entire journal. That can always be added afterwards, and if I have got enough space, I will add a notepad afterwards and just attach it to this piece here. So that is our flip, pocket, whatever you want to call it, multi-pocket flip out piece. You can add more text, more pockets. You can add more pockets to the underside of your flaps. Literally, this can just be built up and built up and built up. This is just a basic shape or a basic idea. But yeah, have fun with it. Do, whatever feels right and whatever's fun for you to do. Yeah, so I hope that was useful. If it was, then I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you want to leave me a comment, that would be fantastic. I'd love to hear from you guys. But until next time, as always, take care and we will speak soon. Bye for now.